Hi, I'm Selena. Welcome back to my channel. Today's topic, divorce and property. Who gets the house? In Singapore, many couples own HDB or private properties like condo and landed. So deciding who keeps the house can be a complex decision that is dependent on many factors. Do watch the video to the end on the legal considerations and the options that are open when deciding what to do with the house after divorce. The first consideration will be whether it is a matrimonial home. Under Section 112.10 of the Women's Charter, matrimonial assets include assets acquired by one or both parties during the marriage, or assets acquired before the marriage but used by one or both parties or their children for various purposes, or asset acquired before the marriage but was substantially improved by either spouse during the marriage. Even if the home is legally owned by one spouse, it can still be considered as a matrimonial asset if the other spouse contributed financially or non-financially through efforts like childcare or maintaining the household. Once a property qualifies as a matrimonial asset, the next step will be the division. So let's look at HDB. When a couple divorce, any HDB properties that qualifies as a matrimonial assets will be divided between the spouse in a just and equitable manner as decided by the court. So it need not be a 50-50. The court will look at each party's financial and non-financial contribution, who has care and control of the child, and each party's future needs and earning capacity. So who gets ownership of the HDB flat after divorce? So if they agree, if both parties agree, then one spouse can transfer the shares to the other spouse, who will then own the flat solely, or they can sell and then divide the proceeds. So what they will do is they will have to see whether the flat is under MOP if they were to sell. If yes, they can sell, but if it's no, then they will have to appeal to HDB and they will look at it, review the case based on a case-by-case basis. So if let's say the spouse cannot agree on the division, the court will come in and the court will determine based on the just and equitable manner. So the parent who has sole control and care of the children often wish to stay in the HDB. So that is to minimize the disruption to the children's lives. But what they have to do is they must make sure the MOP period is met. They have the financial ability to buy over the ex-spouse shares and refund CPF. And also they are at least 35 years or older and ability to form a family nucleus. So if let's say they have no children, they can keep the HDB under the single Singapore citizen scheme. If they're Singapore citizen, at least 35 and the MOP period is met. So even if eligible, one must assess if they have sufficient funds or can refinance the mortgage to maintain the flat independently. So for private properties, both parties can do the same way, either to sell and divide the proceeds or to transfer the share to the other spouse. But unlike HDB, private properties transfer are simpler because there is no eligibility criteria or MOP requirements before selling. So however, if one spouse wishes to buy over the other spouse shares, right, they must make sure they have enough financial capability to continue the mortgage loan and agreement on how to refund the CPF funds to the spouse giving up their shares. So selling or disposing of the flat after divorce. If you sell or dispose of your flat at a later date and your ex-spouse had previously transferred their shares to you without fully refunding the CPF money, you will still be required to refund the following to CPF. 1. The CPF funds your ex-spouse used to purchase the flat plus accrued interest, any CPF money you withdraw from the flat plus accrued interest, and also, if applicable, the pledged retirement sum used for both accounts. So in summary, in how the court determines dividing the property, the court will consider the financial contributions, the non-financial contributions, who has care and control of the children, any pre or post nuptial agreements, each spouse income, debts, and earning ability. These factors will help the court decide what proportion of the property each spouse should receive. So the court can actually order the property be sold and the proceeds divided, or that one party's ownership be transferred to the other, or the home to be retained for a certain period, example, until the children finish schooling. So that's all for my video today. Do consult your divorce lawyer for your case. I wish you well, stay strong, and God bless. Thank you.